Surf's up, friends! I'm Leanna, and it's another week at UpStreet's Big Beach Bash, where the temperatures are always perfection. But the guys you're gonna hear about today were not so lucky. Things got pretty hot for them. But God does what God always promises to do. Curious as to what that was? Let me get out of the sun and I'll tell you all about it.
Kelly, you know what I really love about this place?
What's that?
How peaceful and quiet it is.
What?
How quiet it is! That makes for a great restaurant at the beach. All you hear are the waves.
The what?
The waves! Wow, what was that? I've never heard a wave like that before.
That's because it was not a wave, bud. That was the broken pipe that keeps needing to get fixed.
Oh, no. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, do you know anything about fixing pipes?
Oh, wow, yes, I do. You're in luck. Wow, I can help.
Really? You know about plumbing? Why didn't I know this before?
I don't know anything about plumbing, but I do know all about pipes, half pipes, quarter pipes, you know that, skateboarding and stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any of those, but thanks.
Hey guys, what's going on today?
We have more plumbing issues.
Oh no, Kelly, again? Is everything okay?
Well, not really. I mean, aside from the plumbing, the stove needs to be fixed, the refrigerator's about to break, and I just don't know which one to fix first. I mean, they really should all be done at the same time, but for the first time since I've had the tiki hut, I just don't know what to do.
Wait, no. You can't just sit there and do nothing. I mean, the Kelly I know always has an answer.
Well, I'm not doing nothing. I need some time to think about it.
No, you're not just gonna give up like that. I can't believe you're just gonna give up like that.
What are you talking about? I'm not gonna give up, Vinny. I just need time to come up with a solution. I mean, I can't afford to fix everything at once. But if any one of those things breaks, I mean, the tiki hut will have to be closed until it's fixed.
What have you done with our friend?
Kelly would never say that.
No.
Kelly would never shut this place down.
No.
I'm not shutting this place down. Get a hold of yourself.
Does feel good.
Okay, I just need a little bit of time to just think through it and come up with a solution. This is a tough spot.
But no, if you close this place down, where will we hang out?
Where will I work?
I mean, where would I take my morning naps and afternoon naps and pre-dinner naps?
Well, maybe you just don't nap so much while you're on your lifeguard shift. Oh, wait, you know what? I actually need to turn the grill on, so I'll be right back, okay, guys?
Okay, wait. What about the hot dogs and the milkshakes and the fries and the burgers and nachos and the pizzas? Who would make me all those things for breakfast?
Vinny, what if she can't figure these things out? What's gonna happen?
It would be the end of my world.
Okay, Vinny.
Huh?
Get serious. Kelly could lose the hut. She loves it here. I would be out of a job, and I love this job. Seriously, most of the time, I don't even feel like I'm working.
That's so true. I mean, if she leaves this joint, I would really have to work. I mean, she distracts me from doing my job.
Vinny, you are a lifeguard. That is not a good thing.
It's not.
Seriously though, Vinny, if I lose my job, I won't have a way to earn money, and then how am I gonna buy food, and how am I gonna buy clothes?
And if you don't have money, how are you gonna buy me food?
Vinny, I am really freaking out. I mean, what if she can't fix all these problems? What if she has to close the hut?
Are you guys still talking about this? Look, I am not closing the hut, okay? Well, you just... Okay, all right, okay, well, you just cut it out. Cut it out. Stop it. Sit down. Let's have a little chat. What is going on with you two?
We're worried.
Are you not?
I mean, running a restaurant is tough. There are always things to fix, you know? But I can't get down and worried every single time something pops up. I just have to be brave and trust God will get me through it.
You do those things?
Yeah.
Like it's nothing?
Well, it's not easy, but yes, I have found that he helps me through all the tough things.
So you're not closing?
And I still have a job?
No, and yes.
Phew! Okay, good, because I just bought the cutest pair of shoes, and I would really hate to have to return them.
Hey, you know what, Kelly? I am getting hungry and could use some of those famous French fries right now.
Well, I am glad to see you back to your normal selves. Help me set up for lunch, and I'll pay you in French fries.
Will do.
Come on.
Man, Kelly has some things going on with that hut, doesn't she? But I love what she said. We can't let the things we're afraid of or the problems in front of us get us down. We have to remember that God is with us, no matter what, which is sometimes hard, right? Because we can have big problems, and it can be scary. Like when we know we need to do the right thing, but we're scared to do it. How can we be brave when these big, scary problems come into our life? Well, I'll tell you what 3 friends did when this happened to them. We can read all about these 3 guys in the Bible. They were up against a big problem, and it was absolutely the scariest thing they ever had to deal with. And they could have focused on the big, scary problem, but they didn't. And I want to tell you how. Let me introduce you to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Can I get our 3 actors?
We had a couple of last-minute cancellations, but I found some backups. This is Shadrach, this is Meshach, and I'm Ben.
Okay. I'm interested to see how this is going to work. So, these 3 guys were Israelites. They loved and followed God and tried to live their lives every day the way God wanted them to. But their nation had been invaded, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were captured and taken back to the nation of Babylon and forced to live and work in another country where the people didn't know God at all. And God gave these guys all kinds of great wisdom and helped them to learn to live in this brand new place as they served the king of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar. A name that's not easy to say, but also a lot harder to spell. Hey, want to give it a try?
N-E-B-A-K. What do you think? Another U?
I'll help you out. N-E-B-U-C-H.
C-H.
A-D-N-E-Z-Z-A-R.
Okay. I'm today years old learning that one.
Now, one day, the king decided that he would build a statue. And not just any statue, a huge golden statue. Now, this is a large statue, but what the king made was 90 feet tall. It's like this thing times 10! And get this, King Nebuchadnezzar was so proud of his ridiculous golden statue that he made an equally ridiculous rule. He had a dude come out and announce it. Listen to this.
This is what you are commanded to do. As soon as you hear this music, you must fall down and worship King Neb's golden statue. Whoever does not fall down and worship it immediately will be thrown into a blazing, fiery furnace. I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part? Oh yeah, sure thing. Whoever does not fall down and worship it immediately will be thrown into a blazing, fiery furnace.
This king is crazy, right? He's commanded the people to bow down and worship this? Or really, this? But remember, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego loved God and lived their life every day the way God wanted them to.
You're right, Shadrach. We're in a real pickle.
So they had a choice to make. Disobey God and bow down to the statue, or obey God, refuse to bow down, and face
blazing, fiery furnace.
They knew God wouldn't want them bowing down to some crazy statue. They only worshiped the one true God, the same God we worship and learn about all the time. So they thought, we can't do it, and we won't do it, even though they knew what would happen to them if they didn't bow down. I want to pause here real quick, because we've made this kind of funny, but this was really serious for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They had 2 choices. They could do the easy thing but wrong thing and bow down like everyone else, or they could be brave and do the hard thing but right thing even though they might die. This was a choice of life or death for them. Talk about a big, scary problem. But what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew was that they had a big God that was bigger than their big, scary problem. And they remembered that God was always with them in the middle of any problem they faced, big or small. It was something they had always heard and learned and believed about God. And even though they were far away from their home and from anyone who even worshiped God, they couldn't forget what they knew was true. God was with them, always. And he was bigger than anything they would ever face. And then the day came, the music everyone was supposed to hear. And they refused to bow down. They stayed standing when everyone else fell to their knees to worship this statue.
And it's not just because they're cardboard and their knees don't bend.
They chose to be brave because they knew God was with them no matter what happened. And they knew that even though their problem looked big and scary, God was bigger. The king was furious. He gave them one more chance and told them, if you don't do it, but God will be able to rescue you. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not afraid. They said,
if you throw us in the fire, our God is able to save us. But even if he doesn't, we still won't bow to your statue. Right, guys?
Can you believe that? Their faith in God made them so brave. The king was so mad that he made the fire 7 times hotter than normal. And then he told his soldiers to throw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the furnace. They should have died immediately, right? But they didn't. And guess what else? When the king looked into the furnace, he was amazed at what he saw. The king said, weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire? I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed. 4 men. Guys, God was with them. Literally, God was always with them, just like he's always with us. What Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew, believed, and remembered during their big, scary problem is that they could be brave because God was in the problem with them, and he was bigger than the problem. And that's what we have to remember when we face the big, scary problems that come into our lives. Because God does the same thing for us. No matter what happens, no matter what we face in life, you can be brave because God is with you. When you're the only one in your group of friends willing to stand up and make the wise choice, you can be brave because God is with you. When you're heading off to camp and you don't know anyone else who's going, you can be brave because God is with you. And when you're singled out for no good reason or picked on, even though it's so hard, you can still be kind and be brave because God is with you. We're gonna have problems, but God is always going to be bigger than our problems, and he will always be with us in the middle of the problems. We are never alone, even when it feels like we are. You can be brave because God is with you. Let's pray. God, thanks for always being with us. Thank you that you are so much bigger than our problems. Help us to remember that we are never alone, even when life gets tough, when we're unsure, or when we don't understand. We can be brave when we remember that you are with us. We love you. Amen.
Through the fire, you're always speaking. Just a word has the whole earth shaking. Yes, our God cannot be moved. In a world of hate and vengeance, your word speaks of forgiveness. Yes, our God cannot be moved.
be moved. Unshakable love, unshakable love. Your kingdom forever stands. Your love, it has no end. Unshakable love. Your love, it has no end. You're the hope of our salvation. One breath and the dead awaken. Yes, our God cannot be moved. Full life is what you offer. It's not found in any other. Yes, our God cannot be moved. No. Unshakable love, unshakable love. Your kingdom forever stands. Your love, it has no end. Unshakable love. Your love, it has no end. Our God is never changing. When all the earth is fading, His love will be our light. And I can see that the day is dawning.